Okay, so here we are with another DC Multiverse unboxing, and this is Future State Batman. You can see I got this when it was on clearance at Walmart for only $5. And I never really read any of the Future State comics, so I wasn't really too interested in this figure initially. But when you see a figure for $5, you pick it up. So here's what we got on the back. You can see this is an older figure. They've got a photograph of the figure rather than any artwork on there, and they've got some cross-all figures down at the bottom. They've got Superboy Prime, Lobo, a silver and black Justice League animated Superman. We got what does that say? Batman Batman Beyond. Oh, it's Ink Batman Beyond. That's what it is. And Batman in the hazmat suit, because even McFarlane's got to get into the goofy variation game as far as Batman goes. So let's not waste any more time and go ahead and open him up, because I got him like a long time ago and still hadn't gotten around to opening him up. I was going to open him during Black History Month since he is a black character, but didn't get around to it because I had already so many figures to open up during that time. So I figure, why not open them now when I'm opening up Batman characters? That seems appropriate, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and have a look at some of the accessories he comes with before we do anything else. And he comes with a gold batarang. If I can get this. And there we go. It's a pretty cool looking batarang. I really like it. So let's go ahead and set that aside. And then we've got two solid fists as alternate hands. There we go. That's those. Nothing too spectacular there. And since I've got the snips over here, why don't we go ahead and use that on these rubber tabs? Now we can get that out of the package. It's got one set of double rubber tabs around the torso, and a rubber tab around each ankle, and one around his left elbow and his right elbow. There we go. That should be all of those. And then we can get Batman out of the package. And like I said, this is an older figure. So they were still doing mostly with the molded plastic tapes at this time. And man, is this one in here good. And it's pretty stiff. It's a fairly rigid material for these capes, so it's not the easiest to get out of there. And my Aunt June is here. Everybody say hi to my Aunt June. So we were looking at some old pictures that you took uh, yesterday when I was visiting my mom. So like the picture of me in my very first Halloween costume when I had the Casper costume that mom made out of the pillowcase, and Aunt June did a double exposure on it, which made me look all spectral and ethereal, and you could see through me. It was really cool. So, but yeah, that was my first ever Halloween costume. For anybody out there wondering, I was Casper the Friendly Ghost. So there is Future State Batman out of the package, but we still got the figure stand and the trading card to talk about. Let's go and get those out. And here we go with the older style now of Mcfarlane figure stands. A matte black figure stand with a glossy DC logo embossed onto it. And then we got the trading card. If I can get this out without damaging it. It is on a separate bubble from the figure stand. It's the same photograph of the action figure that we saw there on the back. So, like I said before, this is a black character. I don't just mean he's dressed in black. I mean he's an African American, and not just that. He's the son of Lucius Fox. There's the back of the trading card. Looks like. Let's go ahead and read it. Batman, DC Future State, data file. Real name Timothy Jace Fox. Tim Jace Fox, a strange son of billionaire Lucius Fox, returns to Gotham City after having disappeared for years following an attack on Arkham Asylum known as A-Day. The mayor of Gotham City allows a private law enforcement group known as the Magistrate to take over policing vigilantism in the city. After cracking down on someone wearing a mask, soon after, Bruce Wayne and Batman are nowhere to be seen as Gotham City quickly goes from bad to worse. With the magistrates ruling the city and the Dark Knight gone, Gotham needs a new hero. Enter Tim Fox, the next Batman. So yeah, pretty interesting. That might be a comic worth hunting down and reading. So even though, like I said, I'm not overly familiar with it, but yeah, Tim Fox, Jace Fox, whatever you want to call him. Apparently, Jace is his nickname. How do you get Tim or Jace from Tim? You ask nicely, I guess. That joke's not as funny with when it's not Richard and Dick. It doesn't quite work as well. But anyway, it's not a bad Batman costume, and you can see he does actually have like the traditional Batman type mask, but it's got this kind of cloth piece over the lower part of the face. You can actually see the seam there where the mouth opening would be. But for me, I kind of question why we had to do this and why he doesn't just have an open mask like Batman typically has. And I figure, you could just say, well, it's because they don't want people to know it's not the same Batman. But honestly, to me, it kind of seems like if you were going to do a black character as Batman, kind of this complaint goes with Batwing that I opened the other day too. Wouldn't you want it to be obvious that this character is a black character? Like that kind of seems to me like the point. If you want diversity and representation, it doesn't really help if you're hiding the fact that this is a black guy. That seems like something you'd want to put front and center. That seems like that would be a selling point for this version of the character. So I kind of feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. I'm not going to be the guy to be out here being like, oh, that's racist. I'm not gonna play that card. I feel like that's not really my place. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the guy to be having that argument. But if somebody out there did want to have that argument, you'd have my support. You know what I mean? You feel me? Am I making myself clear? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the figure since we got the ugliness out of the way. So Batman can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt his head kind of quizzically from side to side, rotate the head all the way around. Of course, the arms rotate all the way around the shoulders. They're on that cool Mcfarlane ball joint. So you get some wiggle room out of that. Batman's shoulders would potentially move all the way up to the side, except for I popped his arm off. And there's a spacer here that fell somewhere. And now I don't know what happened to it. Ah, here we go. It fell into my box of stuff. Thankfully, right at the top, so I was able to find it. But here, we get a look at what the spacer looks like when it's out of the figure, since so you guys can see that at least. But yeah, be careful with that. That popped out really easily. But yeah, his arms only go up to the sides about that far. He does have this kind of armored plate at the shoulder, so that kind of prohibits that a little bit. He does have a bicep swivel. The bicep rotates all the way around. He's got double jointed elbows. That's about the range of motion you get at the elbows. And we can see that he only has 2 Batman fins on his glove, as opposed to 3 that Batman usually has, or 0 that Batwing had. And if you remember way back when we opened up Dick Grayson as Batman, Jace has something in common with him in that he only has 2 fins on his glove rather than 3. Dick also has 2 fins on his glove rather than 3. So maybe that's supposed to be kind of a subtle nod to the fact that this is not the original Batman who would have 3 fins on his glove. And much like Dick Grayson, this is just a guy who's filling the role, Not Bruce Wayne himself, but another man who has stepped up because Gotham City needs Batman. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the articulation since there's more to talk about. He does have the cool, actually, does he have the cool Mcfarlane wrist articulation? Yes, he does, but it's hidden underneath the gauntlets of these gloves. So you're going to want to be careful as to how you move it around, but he does have the Mcfarlane ball joints under there, so that's good. He's got the cool Mcfarlane torso articulation, which can move from side to side about that far, back about that far, forward about that far. Of course, he can rotate all the way around where the rib cage meets the abs, and where the abs meet the utility belt. That's really stiff. I do like the colors on this. It's a nice, dark, slightly bluish gray with some black accents, and it looks like to me like this outfit has a black undersuit with some gray armor pieces to it. Although the sleeves look like they're gray, but it does kind of give it the illusion of having the black trunks, even though it's not actually trunks. It's armor over a black bodysuit, but then he's got the armor at the thighs, you see, and all that, and then he's got tall black boots, uh, and these are indeed tall black boots with like a kind of a knee pad built into them, but you can see how it is separate from the knee. All right, so anyway, back to the articulation. He does have a little bit of a wobble at the hip, not a full articulation, doesn't go all the way around, but it's enough to give you a little bit more of a dynamic pose if you need it. Batman can kick up about that far, which is a good range of motion. And like I said before, he's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion you get at the knees. There are a lot of brand new parts on this figure, which is pretty impressive. I'm guessing just because, Jace has such a unique Batman costume, they couldn't really use many parts from a typical Bruce Wayne Batman. So they had to go all out and give him like an entirely new sculpt, which makes it all the more unfortunate that this figure apparently didn't sell that well. Because, like I said, I got it on clearance for $5, and $5 is really cheap for a Mcfarlane figure. Like I said, I saw it for $5 and snatched it up. I'm glad I did in hindsight because this is turning out to be a pretty cool figure. So anyway, no boot cut whatsoever. Not really a surprise. We don't usually get that with Mcfarlane figures too much. But we do have the cool Mcfarlane ankle articulation, even though, like with the glove, it's kind of hidden by the way this shin armor is designed. But it rotates all the way around where the ankle meets the shin and where the ankle meets the foot. So you got all kinds of cool articulation there. Foot can point down about that far, foot can point up about that far, and then he's got toe articulation just to show off. And we might as well real quick get a shot of him holding that really cool Batarang. I really like this Batarang. This is probably one of the better Batarangs I've seen come with a Mcfarlane figure. So yeah, it's a fairly interesting and unique Batman outfit while still being a fairly traditional Batman outfit. He does have just his own unique bat symbol, which you can see is a raised bat symbol. It's a separate piece, it looks like, and it's mainly black with like a little bit of yellow highlights in some places. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Robert Pattinson Batman emblem, but I'm not going to hold that against it. At least it's still pointy at the bottom. And that's something that really bugs me about that Robert Pattinson Batman emblem, where it's like they decided to make it flat at the bottom for some reason, and it kind of reminds me of like if you had a printer that ran out of ink and you were trying to print out a Batman emblem and it was just flat at the bottom. And Daniel Evans is here. Hi, Daniel Evans. Hope you're doing well tonight or this morning. It is like 6:30 in the morning, just about where I'm at. I'm not sure where you're at. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, I hope you're having a pleasant time. So yeah, really cool figure. I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm glad that I got him, especially for the price that I got him. You can't beat $5 on a Mcfarlane figure. This is probably the cheapest Mcfarlane figure that I've ever opened up on this channel. So I'm glad I finally got around to getting him opened up. So we still got a lot more Batman stuff to go over in the coming days. And I got some G.I. Joe stuff. We already saw these the other day. I already showed them off stuff that's coming out. We got Footloose. We got the Frag Viper. And I got my order from Big Bad Toy Store today. So that means I got Flint and CoverGirl and the retro card to open up for you. I got Year 2 Batman. Going to have him to open up soon. We got Kite Man. Going to have him to open up soon. We have this kind of bizarre barbarian caveman type Batgirl, which I'm pretty excited about opening up. That's pretty cool. Set that aside for now. And God, what else do I have as far as Batman goes? That might be getting towards the end of Batman as far as Batman stuff that I have right now. So and Lil Bane is here, and he says, "What's up, man?" Oh, man. Yeah, in June, I know what time it is in Decatur. It's you got the same time as me. We are in the same time zone. So but yeah, I got those. I got we'll have more Superboy or Superman figures later because we got Superboy. We got a new Superman figure that I got in my big bad toy store order recently. So that's cool. And we got a bunch of Green Lantern stuff to open. That's one of those things where like I just kind of wound up getting a pile of Green Lantern figures kind of slowly over the past few months. So we're going to have some Green Lantern characters to open up. Should be a really fun time with a lot of cool stuff to open. And I'm really excited about opening up a lot of this stuff. I missed doing a show yesterday. I meant to do one, but I just kind of forgot about it. It happens. You get busy with other stuff. And like, I was driving early yesterday morning to go visit my mother, and I realized as I was leaving the house, uh, I did not do an unboxing video today, and I really meant to do one. So I was going to do the Luke Fox figure. Oh, and from Amazon finally shipped my Eradicator figure, so that's going to be here to open soon. For those of you who came to track, you realize that means I've got Steel, I've got Superboy, I've got Cyborg Superman, and then I'll finally have the Eradicator, and then we'll make all four of the Reign of the Supermen characters. So that's pretty exciting. And my Wonder Woman first appearance figure is supposed to show up later today. So if I get her before I go to work, I'm probably going to open that up sometime today because I'm really excited about that figure. So I want to get that done. Anyway, that's it for Future State Batman. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. YouTube likes it when I say like and subscribe. So I like to say like and subscribe. So make sure that you like and subscribe. And then when you like and subscribe, YouTube will recommend my video to more people. The algorithm likes that. And then when more people see my videos, more people will like and more people will subscribe. And that means that, they'll put my video out there even more, and then more people will like and subscribe. I noticed since I started to say like and subscribe more often in my videos, I've seen an uptick in the subscribers. So I hope that's a snowball effect and it continues, because you want to have a lot of subscribers, you want to have a lot of viewers, you want to have a lot of people stopping by over and over and over again. You want to have like a loyal audience that shows up for your videos, like Aunt June and Lil Bane and Daniel Evans, and I think that's everybody that was on this video. So thank you all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, make sure that you like and subscribe. That's important. Hit that little bell if you want to be warned anytime I'm going online. Leave a comment. I like it when you leave comments and let me know what you think about this figure and the character in general. And so that means we got two of the Fox boys so far. We got Luke and we got Tim or Jace or whatever you want to call him. And hopefully I'll be able to eventually get the actual Lucius Fox figure, because I'm a big Morgan Freeman fan, and I always liked that character in the comics anyway. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.